Hey, how y'all doing this fine Sunday evening? Let's get it here and pray. Okay. Don't forget to fast forward. If you don't want to listen to the prayer, go ahead and fast forward. Go about 20, 25 minutes. So you can go ahead and fast forward and get on to the prayer. Okay. And do your confession. All right. Woo, thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by enemies harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left-hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus, Thoth, and Arumala. Why all three? Because God has called everybody to the table. God never blocked nobody. That was man that put rules and regulations. God said, come as you are, 100%. Okay. And I walk in it instead of fussing about what it looks like. Just saying. Because God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. God ain't never blocked nobody from coming to the seat. Only man. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace. Ooh, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4. Think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep this mind stayed on God, God will keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make not a bit of sense, but it makes faith. And what I have faith in, I believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see it in the spirit realm before it comes over here. In this realm that we live in. Because this realm that we live in, child, don't get me started with it. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. You place a small spark in my heart before I even enter my mother's womb. Man, God told Jeremiah in chapter 1, verse 5. He said, before you enter your mother's womb, I knew you. You know what? God is telling that to everybody. Why? Because we all have a covenant with God. Every last one of us. And it's up to us to live out that covenant. Is it easy? Because we come into a fallen world. Okay. That's why Jesus said, in this world you're going to have trouble, but be of good cheer. I've already overcome the world. So you ought to tell us in advance that we're going to be some hot mess out here in these streets. Okay, we just didn't know it was going to be like this. Okay. So it's up to us how we see the love. It could be a foot. It could be 40 feet. It could be 100. It could be 1,000 feet. It could be 2,000 feet. It could be bigger than that. It's like God told us. He said it's like Ephesians 3:20. God will do exceedingly abundantly above all I ask or think according to how it works in me. How does this love work in me? It's not what you do. It's how you make people feel. Oh, people will forget everything that you ever done. But people will never forget how you made them feel and how you made them seem. 3:13 on the clock. Remember that. That's a human, that right there is a human need right there. And when it's removed, that's when you lean in and you tap into your own self. Okay. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods, he made all this stuff to put between us and you, God. And you say you don't have no problem with it. However, God said, don't you want to come to the Creator before you go to the creation? Because the creation could get you bamboozled, hoodwinked, lied to. And now you sitting up here lied to. You looking crazy in the face. So you like, how they gonna just lie to me about faith? And God said, if you'd have came to me and let me give you a word of knowledge, a word of wisdom, you hold on to that. And if you didn't hear what that brook that you at in 2 months, it's time to roll out. You know why it's time to roll out? Because if there is no confirmation of what God has given you within a 2-month period, it's time to rock and roll, because that is no longer your brook. And Ichabod is probably on the outside, but Ichabod could be on a business. It could be on a person's forehead. Okay. That means the Spirit of the Lord has departed. I'm just saying, because God wants a one-on-one relationship with us. Okay. Even if you in the organization, still be having a one-on-one relationship with God. We're in a time right now where we have to listen to our intuition. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God. Your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or the universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, you're higher than that. And then, if I try to tell somebody something and they try to tell me, guess what? It's going to be in a sentence or a paragraph. That's a bunch of sentences and punctuation. Boom. Bigger. Jehovah Jireh, my provider. There is no lack. There's only provision. You're more than enough and you supply all I need. It may not look the way I thought it was going to look, but it's supplied. I'm worthy because I exist and I exist because I'm worthy. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. James 1:3-5. God is my source, not the things on the outside of me. God will use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below. Not from the east, west, or the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. If I believe it, it's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here and I'm over here, God said, come to me as you are. I get up and I come to God and God, and then God says, you change your perspective. And every time you go to somebody, you changing your perspective. Jehovah Rapha, make sure they're working. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me, honey. Let me tell you. Today I didn't work out, but I'm going to make sure I stretch. Because Sunday is my rest day, so I'm going to make sure I stretch real good before I go to bed. That's going to be my plan. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no getting even with people. Ain't no arguing with people. They know what they did. You know what they did. Why we wasting energy? Okay. Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator. Ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it and send it back to you. And then you're going to send that energy back to the sender, cleanse and purify. You ain't going to block their path. You're not going to stop their path. No matter what they done. Why? Because we got cause and effect and sowing and reaping and corresponding action. That means whatever we say, do, and think is a seed. And seed turn into trees, good or bad. Whatever you put in the ground, you get back. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out, and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight or my battle. I choose my battles properly, and I leave it in God's hands. I'm not going to be stressing and fussing at people for what? So it will be, and smote to be, and forevermore, because that's what they need. They need me to fuss so they can take my energy. The devil is a lie. I work hard for this, and this is mine. Figure it out on your own. Look at the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay. Let's read an excerpt real quick. Page 73. 72. You pour out, I pour in. Trust me, I haven't forgotten you. You're on the forefront of my mind. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Come on, God. Thank you so much. Don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are shadow activity books. I didn't see any on the market. God said, we'll make it. I said, we'll say less. So you get a word of knowledge just like this, and then you get an exercise. The exercise is, it has at least 3 scavenger hunts in there, just in case you get in isolation and you by yourself, you can still have fun. Okay. You also get shadow questions. Not so fun because it's going to cause you to look at yourself in the face and ask yourself some serious questions, because I had to ask myself some serious questions. Number 4, you're going to get some coloring pages. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. The people that were supposed to look after us, they didn't know how to. They didn't have the instinct. You could say they woulda, shoulda, couldas, and all of this. They didn't have the instincts because they was in the baby boomer generation. And let's break it down. They had 10 of their superheroes gunned down in front of them on national television while they was watching the TV. I'm not talking about they heard about it. They saw it face to face. Excuse me, confirmation work. And it happened so much, they just checked out. Okay, they were shell shocked. So by the time Generation X came on the thing, guess what we were doing? We were taking care of ourselves, our siblings, and taking care of our parents. We became parents of 5 children, and that's why we're healing now. Okay. And by the age of 7, it is solidified in the system. By the age of 10, it is really in the system. By the age of 21 and 25, it is our responsibility to walk out of it, because that's the age that we think we know everything. Nobody can tell us nothing. Okay? You can't tell me nothing. Okay? And then you have 4 pages to draw, sketch, doodle, whatever you want to do, because the closer you get to God, you start having experiences you cannot explain it. And people that are with you tell me, what you do to me? I didn't do anything to you. I'm having a synchronicity in moment right with you. I don't know what's going on. I'm watching with you. You tell me. And see, what happens is you can't explain stuff, spiritual stuff to people that refuse to see it. They saw it just like you saw it, but they want to blame you instead of dealing with this situation. That's what happens. You just, okay. And don't forget about my other two books, already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Chris Voss with Influence and Impact. You can pick up these books wherever books are sold. You can pick up my book at Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. No matter what your background, let me tell you something. God don't care nothing about your background. God know everything about you in the booth, in the back of the dark, who you was with, who you weren't with, what you did, how you did it, the position you was in, all of that, and He still loves you. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating, recalibrating your mind. You'll see the link to the podcast with the Women's Leveling Up that was done in May 2025. Then you'll see two podcasts that was done just last month. Okay, the first one you'll see is Blue Talks that was done. It was talking about my life and my businesses and what I have going on. And then you have another one called Unchurched that was talking about keeping your relationship with God without the organization of religion. I placed a new link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about the venture because I have a plethora of stuff over there on Amazon. But on my store is how you walk out of the matrix system, step by step by step. It's fire coming behind you as you're going. But it's better than being with the rest of the crew and you can't maneuver around because people are frozen. There are some freebies there just for you. I added the link to the 105 spiritual laws. There's only 7 in the initiate book, the Kabbalah, and they was expecting you to stop right there, but they weren't expecting people like some of us who search everything and question everything. Why? Because that's how we were made. So I did some research. I saw there was book for 12, and then I saw there was another book for 7. And I said, wait a minute, the Kabbalah said there's only 7, but there's another book over here that said there's 12. Did some research, and 105 are paused. Even though it's 105 spiritual laws, we no longer live underneath the Mosaic law. We live under love and grace. When Jesus came, you could say Jesus was fake. You could say he was a prophet. You could say he was a prophet, or you could say he was an archetype. Whatever you want to say, that's fine with me. That's on you. But I know it for a fact. 12:34 on the clock. I know for a fact who he is. I done beat some of everything that the doctor said there's no cure for, and I'm still here. Yes, I did the work, but the thing is, the breakthrough had to come through God's hand. You hear what I'm saying? The healing had to come through that way. There was some stuff that is just undeniable, that it was heavenly, that it was celestial that happened because I couldn't get it done on my own. Okay. Let's get that straight. Okay, so when Jesus came, he gave us love and grace. And so the disciple says, how many times will I forgive my brother? Jesus said, they said 7 times. Jesus said no, 7 times 7. That's 490 times for the same indiscretion. Why? Because we grow up in a spiral. Then it broke it down even tighter. Jesus said, forgive me on my debts as I forgive my debtors. Let's break it down even further. When Judas betrayed Jesus, did you see him anymore? Judas took himself out, but that's not the point. The point is you don't see Judas anymore. So the church says, keep the Judas, you need them. No, you don't. Let me tell you why. Once you put out this Judas right here, they're going to be like 3 to 4 other Judases on there, because they all working together to hurt you, right? But you don't know that, because they usually come in the frame of friends and family, because they're the closest to you. Remember, Jesus said the closest to you is the one that can hurt you the most. So you put up the boundary, don't look over the fence, you don't like me, and it's okay. I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. Then I say, you know what? I forgive myself, because I just found this all out what's going on. I did not know that this realm was full of all this fundunkery. And I released myself from this. I was following what I saw my ancestors do. I was following what I saw everybody in the world do. But I don't like this. I'm going to go my own route. God, I'm putting my hand in yours. Lead me forward. Boop. Then I forgive them, not just for them. I forgive them for me. Because if I don't forgive them, I am stuck in quicksand where I'm constantly being pulled down and I can't move forward. Or I'm in cement where I can't move at all. So until I release them, I can't move. So when I release them, I am like, man, I'm road running. You can't stop me. Okay, you can't stop me for nothing. Only thing that can stop me is me. And I ain't trying to stop me. Let's talk about it. So After that, after you do all of that, then there's grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with you in a fast. That's when God will reach down and grab you and pull you out of your mess. I said, God, if I get down here and I forget who I am, because I'm in deep cover like Mob Deep, come and get me. God said, well, say less, because I'm going to come and get you, because I done put too much in you. Okay. God said, I done put too much in you. He said, I done put too much in you. Just like we have the 10 Commandments. It's really 613 commandments. You want to see them all? Go ahead and get a copy of the Torah, the Tanakh, of the Kamash. Let me tell you why. Because once you see them, you'll be like, oh my God. Get them all so you can see them. So God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you could keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life without me. They said, yes, we can, us and our children. That's the first time. The 5th time, they said, the king said, so who you want to release, Jesus or Barabbas? They said, we want to release Barabbas. Barabbas is a serial killer. I mean, he out here just sacrificing everybody, taking them out. Okay, and they tell me we want that back on the street. We just got him in here, y'all. Okay, so the king said, well, I'm washing my hands for this because Jesus ain't doing it to nobody. They said, we know, put it on us and our children. Wait a minute now. You out here writing checks and you expecting somebody else to cash it. So Jesus took care of it, boom. 180 AD and 200 AD, Lord Henry with the Catholic Church, the fake Jews, took out 54 books out of the Bible. What they did was they started putting books together and said, we're going to do this. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that. Because that's going to get them too much control and we don't need to do that. We're going to give them fragments. They'll never put this together. Never? Okay. That was a vow. Honey, let me tell you something. God said, in due time it shall come back, and the light shall reign. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Okay. Remember, we know everything, but we don't know anything. And the reason why it's like that is because we come to the kingdom as children, and children always asking questions. That's why God said that. Okay. And they trust. From all attachments as we go through each level and lesson taught to me by Jesus, though, Ishu, and Ishu the Orisha. And that's at the crossroads, as well as Hecate is at the crossroads. And the crossroads people, they don't care nothing about your tears. They saying get it together, okay? Don't forget about the Adjective PDF and the 400 page PDF. You put them together, change your whole Sims character, because this ain't nothing but a Sims game and a hologram. Change it, even though you may cry and you may still be upset sometimes because you still love people, even though you know that we're really not supposed to be connected to people. You know, you get connected sometimes. It hurts. It's part of the process of being human. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget to look at the school app. Come and hang out with me. I just started, well, actually I done put some stuff together. Come and hang out with me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who of 2025. Influential Women of 2025 and Women's Worldwide. Let me tell you something. God was on a move and I was like, I received it because I'm worthy. Look what I received in 2017. I was doing some work with my nonprofit, Refuge Women's Transition Center. I was bringing women and teenage girls out of sex trafficking, okay? I had a lot of help, but then I looked up and everybody was gone. They went to help somebody else that had a bigger name. God said, don't worry about it. Keep going. Keep going. I said, say less. Then I was helping out young girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI. And then the ones that came out and said that they were pregnant. And their parents said, we're going to just kick you out. I said, no. We taking too many out of the street. Don't do this. There's too many out there. They was like, what you talking about? I said, just give them to me. I asked them, I said, you want to come to the building that I'm in, or do you want to go to the team building? Most of them want to go to the team building. I only had one or two to say. Then I was also helping out women that came out of domestic violence. We lost 2. We did everything in our power for them, but they went back more than once. They was addicted. Let me tell you, everybody's addicted to something. I know people that smoking cigarettes and their lungs are about to come out their body. They even got the oxygen tank and they still doing it. Then on top of that, we got people smoking weed. They go to the emergency room because they throwing up and everything because they having a reaction to the weed. The doctor said, I'm going to need you to stay off the weed for 3 days. Got it, doc. They come home, eat the food, take the medicine, start smoking again. Because they're addicted. Then you got people that's going to the gym 5 times a day. Not a week, a day. Then you got people that's working out at their house 2 to 5 times a day. Because they're addicted to the endorphins. It is. And I don't judge nobody. Because if I judge them, I got to judge me. Because we all got our own issues. Let's just be honest. Matthew 7, 1 through 5. Read that. Be careful, because you open your mouth on people. The guy said, oh, you want some of that? No, I don't want none, God. I'm good. I'm good. And I was helping out people that lost everything in house fires and floods. Because everybody knew I had a nonprofit, people just giving me stuff. Clothes, shoes, furniture. And it got so much I had to go put it in the storage unit. Okay? And I was cleaning it up and take care of it, so when people came, they had something to look forward to. Because when you lose everything, you ain't got time to be washing it. So when people came, I said, so how many rooms you need? They told me, I said, I'm going to take what you need because other people are coming. Then I gave them toiletry bags. I gave the women toiletry bags. I gave them fingernail polish and fingernail polish remover. So when they wanted to look cute, they had to calm down and come out of that shock era to go into the parasympathetic area where they could relax, breathe, and bring themselves back in, and then we could go from there. Okay. That was just something I just reminded myself of. And on top of that, I was helping families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I put it out on social media. I want to help 2 families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So one lady reached out. I was so excited, not because she needed help, but because I wanted to help somebody, because God said help. So I went to Honey Baked Ham, and I gave them $150 worth of groceries. So while they looking for a job, she ain't got to worry about that. And then for Christmas, I found out some more families, and I went ahead and gave them Honey Baked Ham, $150, plus their kids received 2 gifts from me each based on my budget, because I had to work on my budget, okay? Because remember, everybody walked away, so I had to go on my budget. So whenever I got some money, I put it back in. That's how you do it. 3 months later, I sent 2 women to therapy and counseling for 3 to 6 months, and gave them $150 or $250 worth of groceries. And I put everything on my website. I wasn't out here trying to have fanfare, showing everybody what I was doing, because God told me whatever you do in private, I reward you in public, because it's between me and you. Okay. The same thing when he told the Pharisees and the Sadducees, instead of going out here and let everybody know that you pray and you got all this stuff, you need to let everybody see you in your robe, in your robe, showing that you are a priest and all of this stuff. You got to put on this perpendicular voice and all of that. God said, know who you are, so when you step out there, I got you. God is faithful, and I'm thankful for everything. I am. And I ain't talking about nobody. So if it hits you, it hits you. I'm sorry. Just take the shoes off, all right? Look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with all natural remedies for the assistance during the diagnosis of breast cancer in 2017. They told me I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil is lying. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't taking no cancer treatments. I ain't taking none of that. I just took all natural things from my backyard, 100% silver shield, a naturopathic doctor, and Dr. said we died. Sure did. That's all I did right there. And I worked with God. We was working on this stuff. We was working 24/7, because we was working 24/7 to take me out. I said, the devil is a lie. I can work harder. I promise you I can. Watch me show you. So the doctor was like, don't you see it? I said, I see it, but if I agree with it, I'm gone. I said, I bind it all up. I curse it to the root. I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell from whence it came, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility for myself. I didn't know they was putting stuff in the food. I didn't know they was putting paint thin in the cereal. I didn't know that they was putting black mold citric acid in the food. I didn't know the FDA sit there and let them put the vaccine inside the food, and now we eating the vaccine now. And I was like, you know what, God? You said I can eat any deadly thing and it shall not harm me. If you deliver me from cancer, you can deliver me from anything. Okay. Then I left there and I went home and I was talking to God, and God said, call the naturopathic doctor. I did that. Then I pulled down everything the doctor said about being alkaline and showed it to the naturopathic doctor. You're great. But 5 things on each side of the list gotta go. I said, well, say less. Then my ancestors kicked in and said, go to get that dandelion, get that morning glory. You can, just in case things get tough out here in these streets. And the wild scallions, really, it's wild scallions because our ancestors lived off the land. They had no choice. They was given scraps back in the day. Why you think the food tasted so good? They didn't have everything, but it tasted good. Okay. Because we know seasoning. We don't know nothing else. Seasoning. But let me tell you. I put it on my food, and then I did that post salad. Post salad like lettuce and cilantro, had a baby together, and it's serrated around the edges. So then I put it on top of that spinach, underneath that jasmine rice. Woo, that post salad got that nutty flavor to it. So it adds some of the zing to your food, honey. and I put that zucchini and that jasmine rice, made that chlorophyll still fresh in my system. Make sure you add some extra chlorophyll, okay? And then put that zucchini and that squash and that red onions on the top. Cancer fighting agents show did. Then I found out that avocado and wild caught salmon is vitamin D. Say less. Eat your food for your medicine, or you're gonna be eating your medicine for your food. Cause that's how they trying to have it. So we can stay in healthcare. The devil is a lie. We got herbs out here. Let's go. Psalms 91, 1-6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him 100%. For he will rescue me from every trap, did and still does. Protect me from every deadly disease, did and still does. He will cover me with his feathers. He will shelter me with his mighty wings, and did and still does. He is faithful to his promises. Let's talk about God's promises. God's promises are yes and amen every day of the week, every hour of the day. Okay? But sometimes gotta say pause, because there'll be a plan. They'll set you up and wet you up. And it'll be people that you love the most, people that you care about the most. You don't even see it coming. But God does. And God said, okay, cut them off, cut it off. And there's a setup. There's a plan. Cut them off, get rid of them. You like, God, but wait, God said, get rid of them. I said, okay, they done. Done. And then God said, instead of going that way, we're going to send you this way. I'm going to give you a spiritual machete. The angel's going to be in front of you. I'm going to be behind you. Nobody's been on this path before, so it's going to get a little rough, but we with you. I'm like, say less. And every time I say less, I'm like, God, really, dude? So, my armor and my protection, okay? Ephesians 6, 2 Corinthians 10, put on the full armor of God. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at day. I ain't gonna lie, it get tough out here sometimes. You gotta make sure your full armor is on, so when it get tough, ain't nothing phasing you. It'll scare you a little bit, but you shake it off. You do like Taylor Swift and shake it off. You shake it off, honey. Woo! It's just like, and I do not dread a disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Because David told us, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, my rod and staff. Who knew that my spine and shoulder to shoulder was my cross? Jesus said, pick up your cross daily and follow me. Who knew? Who knew? Nobody knew. But God knew. And then it says, woo! Then it says, surely goodness, and then it says, my cup runneth over. That is spiritual abundance. Abundance in all area of our life, if we receive it. And then it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And then it says, Isaiah 53, God will send the angels to go before us to set asunder to make the crooked places straight, and God is always my rear guide. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Why is he always my rear guide? Making sure goodness and mercy is always following me every day of my life. And why am I the house of the Lord? As long as I stand in the light, I remain in the light. Remember that song, Walk in the Light, the beautiful light, honey? I stay in the light. When I leave this vessel, I'm still in the light. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. Why? Because don't nothing catch God off guard. Honey, it catches us. But that mess don't catch God off guard. God be like, hey, here. Okay. I want to say thank you to all that view my videos, and say thank you to all my beautiful subscribers for your beautiful energy that you share to come and listen to the message. I send your beautiful energy back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it'll really help my channel. I truly appreciate you. Hand over heart for your affirmation. I am not society script. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but a flame from God, source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't fix. If it can't be fixed in 15 minutes, let it go. I let go of that attachment, and I monitor the use of my own energy. Monitor the use of your own energy. The only thing they got is fear. And they'll use anything. Let me show you what they'll use. They'll use anything to cause that ritual, humiliation ritual. Do anything to make you look stupid out here in these streets. But you know what you do? You turn it around. Turn that frequency around. Are you surrendering and trusting the divine God, the creator? Or are you leading you? Are you being grateful? Being grateful isn't always easy. I don't always get it together right, but I do trust God, and I thank God for that. This morning, I was going through and just started giving God gratitude and gratefulness about what I've gone through. I was just talking to God. You know how you start writing in your journal? I was just writing in my journal. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I started seeing stuff. I was like, wait a minute. Each person gave me some guidance that once I slowed down, I saw it all. I didn't know how to do some certain things. And each one showed me how to do it. There were things I didn't know. But then once I was in introspection, I looked and I said, wow, I received hands-on training for free. Although I had to walk away to go forward. Then I thought about Elijah. How God sent Elijah to various brooks to be fed. So if God sent Elijah to 5 different brooks, what does it make you think that you're going to have to stay in the same church your grandma went to, your mama went to? That man, Ichabod could be on the front of that church where it means, you know what Ichabod means? It means the glory of the Lord has departed. They may not even be serving God no more. They may be serving Baphomet. I think I'm saying his name right. They might not be serving God no more. They may be serving the God of the Ashkenazi Jews. And that ain't God. That's why God called them Edomites. Because they sold their birthright for power. Because the church keeps pushing. We only know in part, so let's talk about it. If we only know in part, that means God will take us everywhere we need to go to get the word that we need to get. It ain't going to be easy, and it's not going to be comfortable, and you're going to find yourself leaving people and going and coming in and going out. You be like, God, my head is flipping around and everything's going so fast. God said, I'm taking you places. Roll with me. God takes us places to learn things. Whether it's a job, a person, a place, or other, everything is being used and nothing is being wasted. I'm noticing about it all, and I'm just so thankful. I slowed down just to check on me. I was honest with myself, and I sat with that before rushing forward. I just sat with that for about an hour, and I was just like, wow, so that. And I was just like, there were so many things I wanted to do. I told myself to honor all I've been in and learned. This allows me to see the growth, to celebrate it, and I danced to celebrate myself. I did. I'm thankful for the resistance. Let me tell you why I'm thankful for the resistance. This is what resistance tells you. Resistance doesn't say you on the wrong path. Resistance says you going somewhere and the enemy is pissed. And the inner me that is used to going the same loop over and over again don't want me to go this way, because that means I'm going to get free. So now I'm dragging me and all of me to get to where I need to be. It calls me to do things as they are, to see things as they are and not how I want them to be. Just because people give you wisdom doesn't mean that they get to stay in your life. If their voice is sounding condescending, that is disrespectful, but comes with a smile. Don't allow nobody, you hear me? Don't allow yourself to be disrespected to ever. Put them out your life. Immediately. Okay? The Bible reading today, ooh, this was good. This is one of the scriptures that's close to my heart. Because it's about betrayal, but it's from a different side. Genesis 50:20. What was planned for my bad? God did things I couldn't even do in this realm. God changed it around. This was Joseph talking to his brothers. Where human malicious intent is overruled by divine providence. Excuse me, confirmation, to produce a good outcome. In the Quran, Al-Baqarah 2:16. But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you. Perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you, and Allah knows, while you don't. Esau gave me a proverb. I was like, honey, let's go. I love a good African proverb. Woo! Come on here. The thing that they thought would break and destroy me is what was used to guide me to take me to the high place. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. I can always count on the what is his name? Babalagua, to come up with something to just take me there and say, Symptoms of that. As I was meditating, I had a vision and my body went somewhere else. But I was still here in the room. I came back in my body. And I was like, that was cool. Let's do it again. You know how on The Incredibles, the young guy, I think his name is Junior, the one that does racing all the time, and he would do something and come back and say, let's do it again. That's how I was about to say, oh, that was so cool. Let's do it again. I went to the farmer's market because I needed to go get a few items. And, honey, I was so happy with myself with a little bit of money that I spent. I said, I thought it was going to be a little bit more. Then I had to go get some dog food, and I was like, really, people? So, I was at the farmer's market and ran into someone that I knew when I first arrived here, and they tried to act inquisitive and all friendly. And I spoke, and then I act like I didn't see him anymore. I basically said, no thank you with no words, just my actions. I don't want to go through that again. I'm good. And the energy that was coming off them hasn't changed. It was nasty and it was yucky. It was very yucky. Not them, but that energy was nasty and it was yucky. And it smelt like a landfill. That's the best way I can explain it. And because it smelled rotten and decayed, I said, not today, Satan. The devil is alive. I was wondering what happened to the children separated from their parents on that bus that disappeared. Remember that bus that disappeared with all them Latino children on, and we've been asking where it went? With the E-Files, now we know what happened. Grow your own food. While the E-Files, that's why they released it the way they did. While the E-Files was going on, they put some stuff in our food supply. They allow the gates, read between the lines, they allow the gates open, and the food supply should all be recalled. Find a way to do for yourself, no matter how small. You have to start. Okay, and then I remember this scripture. God told us we can eat anything deadly and it won't hurt us. Pray over your food. This is a time, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you stop. Hammer time. I can't touch this. Okay, it's time to now to pray over your food. You hear what I'm saying? Be grateful over the food. Even if you go to a restaurant, be so grateful over that food. Even if you go back to the childhood prayer. God is good. God is great. Let us thank Him for our food. By our heads, we all are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily. I don't care what you say. Or just be like, Father, we thank you for this food we're about to receive. We thank you that it digests properly in our systems. And if anything is deadly on this food, it dies before it even touches my lips. The celestial help that is in this realm touches this food before it even enters my mouth. Hey, come on here now. No fear. Because we run this realm. Who's gonna run this town tonight? Hey, hey, hey. Who's gonna run this town tonight? Come on here now. Thank you, Kanye and Rihanna, Miss Riri. I have another event set for 4/26/26 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. See the link in the description. Again, what makes you have gratitude? Have you stopped today and just seen that you had clothes on your back? You had a roof over your head. And if you didn't have a roof over your head, let's just say you step in your car, that's still a roof over your head. Let's just say you step in a tent, that's still a roof over your head. Let's just say, you can look down and see you had shoes and you got some clothes on. You're not walking around in your underoos. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe for conversations on resilience, identity shifts, breaking generational patterns, and living with integrity. Drop a comment down in the comments. What helps you remain grateful and why? Please drop an emoji. It could be a rainbow, a black cat, anything whatever that helps you surrender so you can continue to rise in gratefulness. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own timing. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own timing, okay? Keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. Don't carry somebody else's burden or they fight. Remember that? 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5 said, cast your cares on God, not other people. Don't let nobody keep calling you and telling you all their problems all the time because they ain't doing it but dumping that crap on you because they don't want to carry it. Do not carry other people's stuff. If you the strong one and you constantly carrying everybody else's stuff, you need to start telling them to talk to God just like you do. Sometimes when you see their number and you be like, ugh, it's time to just hit ignore. Let them figure it out because you are. Don't carry somebody else's burden on their fight. Philippians 2 and 12. Read it for yourself. And 1 Peter 3 and 5. Read it for yourself. James 1, 19 through 21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Okay? Because they will try. Because just like they watch your pockets, they watching your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. We must all be quick to listen, so to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness God desires. But that righteous anger said, we need to do something. We need to do it right now. Let's make a plan. Let's make some structure. So get rid of all that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your hearts. You know what God planted in there because I know what he planted in mine. For it has the power to save your souls. Listen to what God told you because it'll help you keep going. Verses like Quran 17:53 and 4:148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander and gossip, and speaking the truth. Are we doing that? And 2:54. This verse emphasizes that it's not for creation that is under Allah to question Allah's decisions, just like we don't question God. We ask questions, but we don't question. It requires the believers to surrender to Allah's will, which is a message of faith and surrender to divine authority. Not once did it say surrender to the leader. No. It says surrender to Allah. Not once did it say surrender to the preacher. No. It says surrender to God. Don't get it twisted and don't make someone your idol because the minute that you do, now you and God is going to be at odds. And he's going to do everything possible to get everything out of the way where the idol is present. You don't believe me? God will. He'll remove anything out of the way. That's a God. That's an idol. Do we really know who we are? It's time that we get into our studies, whatever we're in. Because that ain't none of my business. Pray, meditate, and find out who you really are. Be so secure when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker every time. You hear me? Don't let something take you out. You be like, I'm going to take a break for a minute, but I'm going to get back in here. What helps you stay grateful? Think on that for a moment. I'm still saying, that's my birthright. It's my spiritual birthright. Abundance is my birthright. I am worthy of love. Love is abundant. In order to be in love, you got to be abundant. I am worthy of a life I love. If I don't love that life, I'm switching it and I'm changing without approval from anyone else. I'm going to get up, make my own plan. I don't need your approval. You can kick rocks. I don't care. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. My birthright is abundance. I have a spiritual birthright. I have a blood bought right that says I am spiritually abundant. I am worthy of the dream that is in my heart. If it's right here, you best believe it's coming to pass because I just need to switch, turn, do whatever I need to do to make sure that my dreams come to pass. Woo, I believe timelines no longer for me. No anger, no bitterness, no strife, no animosity, none of that. The thing is, once people show you who they are the first time, believe them and release them immediately. So you can keep growing, you can keep ascending, you can keep flowing with God. Otherwise, they're going to carry you back down to the pit where they are. Because the only people that's going to talk about you is the people that's underneath you. Because the people that's above you don't talk about you. And it may seem that they have a higher level of leadership in them than you. But the reason why they're talking about you is because they cannot compete with you. Because they don't have the same level of discipline and love that you have in your heart. They once did, but they allowed some things to hold them back. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Release. I cut every cord. I burned the cord and I severed it. We no longer agree, so we can't walk together, so you can go your way and I'm going to go mine. No harm, no hate, no foul, none. Enjoy your life. I pray that God will send labor to the field that can teach you, that can reach you where you are. But the only thing I owe you is love. Have a great life. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. I will not be quiet. I will shine so bright. Be like, bling! Okay, I'm going to blind you every time you see me. I have a mind and critical thinking. I'm going to use it every time I get up to do it. Do you hear me? I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move and stillness. Honey, when I got still today, the way that God was talking to me today, and the way so much wisdom was coming out, I had to write it down, honey. It was so much coming so fast. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I am never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God. There's a threefold cord that's not easily broken. I'm secure in knowing that even if I'm walking by myself, I'm never really alone. You know why? Because my ancestors will jump out the bushes on you and will choke you down. They got guerrilla warfare. You won't even see them coming because they about to protect it. I am the thing that they protected, so you will get taken out. That's between you and your ancestors. The angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up, and they did not disappoint today. Okay. Own it. Own it, daggone it. Do you hear me? I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Do you hear me? Love has a million ways to show itself. Are you receiving the love? Woo! People go out of their way to show me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It said we don't even usually do this. They can't help it, and I can't help it either. Because let me tell you something. If God say no, my intuition say, we're not going over there. And my ancestors say, I wish you would get up and go over there. I am done. I have miracles every day and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. There are times when God will just say, here you go. You be like, what's that for? He said, remember I owed you something? You're like, I ain't even remember. I'm just out here grinding. I'm just doing what you told me to do. I'm disciplined. I don't consent in any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable, and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burns. And I sever every cord of connection because we can't walk together because we don't agree. We're not thinking the same thing. I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. If it's in here, it's coming to pass. Because I've been holding on to the promise. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight with you. I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to fight for what's mine because God knows my address. And then on top of that, it's tailor-made just for me. I am worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I can see this thing from a different perspective and see myself how God see myself, oh, it's over. I saw this so when I said, this is mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. And if you win, I win. Why? Because we're going to share our wisdom. Otherwise, it's going to be in our journal somewhere. Okay. Money comes back to me, multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent. Honey. And everything that was stolen and everything I didn't even know I'm missing. I'm willing to open space for the things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. Man, I'm so intentional with love for myself. I've been loving on me all day and taking breaks and just saying, okay, how you feel? I saw this on Google and I said, okay, it's mine. Put the sprinkles on it. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to its rightful owner. Cleanse and purify, no matter where we originally met. Universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm, space dust, space rock, space dust. Okay, I don't care. And I sever the cord of connection. It's gone. The lessons have been learned, and I release you to find your own way, because I don't need it. I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I'm like Magneto. I call all my stuff back to me. Even stuff all the way back to childhood and birth. I am free. I am free. I am free. I release all energies, traumas, and patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, and realms. I am free. I am free. I am free. I call in all my ancestor stuff they left down here. You best believe I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All this work I done done. I sit in peace when I trust the process and I don't rush the process. Believe me, I tried. It does not work. Just rest. Can we wait when it gets silent? Child, because when it gets silent, it's like, no. I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts and courses that bring transformation. Signature topic, helping visionaries, dreamers reconnect, reinvent, go through the rebirth process, and rise with confidence. Remember when Jesus said that you had to be born again? Well, I done been through the rebirth process, and it wasn't easy, and I show others how to do it as well. To help them ground their dreams in the now, and to see it come to pass in the earth, and out of the spirit and imagination realm. Okay, Ephesians 3:1, we pull them 5D to 17D down on earth to have heaven on earth. I have courses and books that teach individuals how to return to themselves, quiet the noise, and live boldly on their own terms. I'm holding space right now for the people who feel like they're repeating cycles over and over and they can't fully explain why. Also, tackling the sacred cows of religion and how we think the same labels, but they keep us controlled by a label instead of us just seeing each other as we are. And in fear, we're opening every door. Nothing is off limits. If you bring it to the table, we're going to talk about it. Step by step, we're going to get free. Write me in the comments to gain more information. And don't forget, I have an event, 4/26/26. Get your tickets. Hi, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results, LLC. Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being for my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. If you have a public health problem, you have a mental health problem, and vice versa. Okay? Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner where we pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor. Human design practitioner where we go back to the beginning, find out what your purpose is, what you really came here to do. Then we pull out all that generational baggage. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then that my path was going to be a little different and people was probably going to be a little standoffish until they had done their own work. But I ain't let that stop me. I ask myself uncomfortable questions every day to get out of old patterns. I do the work for myself every day, and it ain't always pretty, and it ain't always easy. But I wake up to confront the areas in me in love that need a facelift, so I can go forward. What will you do? You look good on the outside, yeah, honey. Your body is banging, but are you a landfill on the inside? Yeah. What are you afraid of losing? Is it once you see that colonialism and imperialism, either your ancestors dealt it or your ancestors felt it, has played everyone, you won't know what to do if we're not fighting each other anymore? How about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause to see life differently in all areas? This will cause us to quit blaming everybody else for our problems and see where we might be missing it, because we make our own decisions. Remember that. Nobody can make you do anything. We can only meet people fully where we have met ourselves. Remember that next time when you say you want a real relationship. Pull that mask off, put it down on the table, And don't bring your representative because nobody wants to see that. Bring the real you. We have many adults who were never taught how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation on the outside of themselves because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. So I ask you, what emotion from your childhood pushed you in a corner and you made a vow to not do or be? You do know that never is a vow, right? You do know. I hate them. They did this to me. They did it. Okay, you making vows. Yeah, you was a child, but you didn't know any better. But this is what we get to do now. I renounce every vow made as a child. Every time I said never, ever, 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 outcast. Every time you said that, you don't remember because now you're a grown person. So now you get to say, I renounce every time I said never. I get to renounce every time I spoke some evil words, some words that was not kind over someone else. I renounce it and I curse it to the root and I call it a crop failure and I loose. And then you start saying the affirmation that you want. I loose the perfect words that come from my heart. I think I release healing over my body. I release healing over my mouth. I release healing over my mind. I think that my mind is whole, my body is whole. I think that I hear the voice of the Lord and the voice of the stranger I do not hear. I think that I walk upright before the Lord all the time. I think that I am grateful in the small things. Woo! All the time. Okay. See, the vows we all made is playing out on the big stage. Yours might not be as big as that one, but where do you have control? Where you trying to control everything? You can't do everything. Sometimes you got to take your hands off and let God do it. While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl, that little boy on the inside of us here? Because they're in the basement talking about, help me, let me out. That little kid is really trying to get out. You know why? Because that's your shadow. Because you locked them up because it wasn't safe to let them out. I'm being commissioned in the aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is on the inside of me. But I had to find me before I could find God. Why is that setting me off? Why is that triggering me? Why is that word making me want to take everybody out? Let's go research that word. Why is that word hurting me like this? Okay, maybe it's ancestral. Maybe it goes back 1,000 years. But just because it goes, because you know, everything is ancestral, goes back 1,000 years. You're not just dealing with your mama and your grandma. You're going all the way back to the 12th and the 13th century. That's where you're going. That's where it started. See, everything ain't just about us. It's going all the way back then. See, we're taught that God is on the outside of us in the great by and by, but God is on the inside of us waiting to be tagged into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 said the same thing. We're fighting principalities, rulers of the darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. That's what we're fighting because we're spirit beings first. We are in spiritual warfare. That person that you're fighting is not the person that you're fighting. The people that run the country, those are not the people that run the country. They have entities in them. That's what we're fighting, not them. They have given themselves over to spirits, and they have sold their birthright. This is when that negative thinking has gone on for so long that now it's the norm of society. It's those isms. It's and it's become so fresh and new and all this all the time that some people refuse to let it go because that's all they have. But once you release racism, who are you? Because that's what makes you feel good about yourself. But once you release that, it shows that who are you? You don't have anything to hide behind anymore. No, you don't. You get to be your real self. So I ask you, why are you making the word of God of no effect with your traditions? That's what every ascended master had to fight. Buddha, Jesus, Hare Krishna, Hecate, Ishu. Let's call out every Orisha. Your traditions is making the word of God or whatever religion that you're under of no effect. You know why? Because you're doing stuff and you're not keeping your hands clean and your heart clean and you Psalms 51. Woo! Search me, O God, and cleanse me with hyssop. Oh my God! Search me. What makes you grateful? What makes you grateful? What makes you want to just give so much gratitude to God? Because God is good no matter what's going on. These are the mindsets of us who complain but don't want to do the work and don't know how to do the work. And it causes a dip in morale that most can't get out because it's ancestral or generational. We've been doing this for years, 1,000 years, honey, going back to the 12th and the 13th century. So God is trying to clean this thing up. If we go back then, it's like none of this ever happened. Ooh! So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable and get past the plateau of complacency or complicitness. Once you get complicit, you already made your decision. Or this is how we've always done it. You already made your decision. That world is burning to a crisp. When are we going to respect each other? Yes, we know the FBAs was here first. We got all the documentation. And you can sit here and act like you don't know, but it is what it is. We also know that everyone's life is important. What are you willing to bring to life? What do you really believe? Like, do you really believe it? It's time to stand on it. It's really time to stand on business right now because it's time to operate in it now. You can change the world with the one thing that you do that lights up the world. Fight for your dream while hurting none. God said you can be whatever you want as long as you don't hurt yourself or nobody else. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks. Miss Good and Alex is gone, and Miss Bland is gone. Ahmad Audrey is gone. Michael Brown is gone. We were trying to tell you all this time, but nobody listened. Do what is right for you. No one lives your life but you, okay? Be sovereign, not controlled. Think for yourself. And if you protect those that can't and don't know how to protect themselves, children and elderly, do so by any means necessary. Bring your dreams to life no matter what you see in front of you. May the force be with you as you go. And may the power of God be in your heart as you move. Go on forth now. Let God use you now. You hear? You know my country had to come out. There are some freebies and a link to the podcast with the Women's Leveling Up that was done in May of 2025. And then this year, last month, I was on 2 podcasts. Blue Talks, and then I was also on Unchurched. On Church, we talked about how to leave the religion, leave the organization, but still keep your relationship with God. Look in the description below to find, and don't forget about the magazines I was in. I was in some magazines, honey. September, October, December, January, and February, I was on a cover. Okay. Hush your fuss to get on the bus. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed a new link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay. I'm going to read an excerpt. Page 58. Excuse me. Confirmation verb. Trust my voice. You're getting. Trust my voice. You're getting ready to go higher in me. Nothing just happens. I know what I'm doing. Rest in me. Come on here now. God is good. Don't forget about my other 2 books. Befriending the Shadow. Unshakable Peace. Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are shadow activity books. See. Woo, I didn't see you on the market. God said, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge just like that, and then you get an exercise. In the exercise, it's 22 chapters. So in the exercise, you're going to get 3 scavenger hunts. Just in case you find yourself in isolation, you can run around and have a good time and set your timer and do this scavenger hunt, okay? Ooh, it's so fun. I had a good time. And then the shadow question, not so fun. You're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror, and that's you. Everywhere you go is you, okay? And then the 4th thing you get is a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. Yes, they shoulda, woulda, coulda, but if they came up in baby boomer era, they lost 10 of their superheroes in front of them. They was gunned down in front of them on national television while they was watching national television, okay? So they had moments, okay? So give them their time, okay? Give them their time. They don't mean no harm. They don't. They don't mean no harm. They trying. They really are trying. So walk away. And if you need to remove them from your life, don't nobody need to be disrespected by nobody, none, okay? By the age of 7, it is solidified in your body. By the age of 10, it is really solidified. By the age of 21 to 25, it is in your system. You are now an adult, and it is now time for you to walk out on your own, because can't nobody tell you nothing. You can't tell me nothing. No, nobody can tell you nothing. You got to do it on your own, okay? And then the fifth thing you get is 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, whatever you want to do. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you start having them strange moments to where you can't put words on it. It just happens. It's synchronicities that just show up. And the people that who's talking about, what you done to me? I ain't done none of you. I'm standing here with you. It's a synchronicity. And just the fact that you saw it and I saw it means God is both trying to get both of our attention. What you gonna do with this? And they may blow it off, but you know what? Don't explain it, because you don't suppose to send your pearls towards swine. Let them do whatever they want to do, and you keep it moving. All right. Love yourself enough to keep going. And don't forget about my other 2 books that's already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. These books can be bought anywhere that books are sold. My books can be bought anywhere on Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, okay? And my personal bookstore. I love it. My personal bookstore show you how to walk out of the matrix step by step by step by step. And look, it ain't gonna be easy, because they've had a hold of you and your generations for thousands of years, but you can break it. No matter what your background. God don't care about your background. He knows what you did in the booth in the back of the dark. You know what? God still loves you. He don't care. He don't care. God said, come on, I got you. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books and helping and meditating, recalibrating your mind. I'm excited about this venture because, like I just said, I got a whole catalog on Amazon. Type my name in. But the thing is, on my bookstore, it shows you how to walk out of your Thanos period. Those things that's been in your life that you can't break, them big generational things. Yes. Don't forget about the link to the 105 spiritual laws that govern the earth. Remember, we're no longer underneath the law. We're under love and grace. When Jesus came, you can say Jesus is fake. Go ahead, have your time. But I know this. I'm delivered from a disease that the doctor said they had no cure from. I'm still here. And they gave me that diagnosis in 2017. I'm still here. Cancer free. There were so many other things they said they had no cure for, and I'm still here. Free of the disease. Okay. You can say what you want, but God is real. Jesus is real. Okay, John B. Key. Jesus is real. I know the Lord is real to me. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, John P. Key. Man, y'all don't know. I'll never forget what he did for me. I'll never forget how he set me free. I can't forget it. Hey, I can't forget it. I can't forget it. What he's done for me. Done for me. And then how it start. Okay, I just love that song. Okay, let's get back in here. So Jesus gave us love and grace. I got all chill books. I just love that song just because of the beat. Okay, he gave us love and grace. First, the disciples asked, how many times do we forgive our brothers? 7 times? Jesus said no, 7 times 7. Okay, because you grow up, you go up in a spiral. Then on top of that, let's go. Then Jesus said, the Lord's Prayer, forgive me on my debts as I forgive my debtors. Did you see Judas anymore once Jesus was betrayed by Judas? Judas took himself out, so here's the rule. The church said, keep your Judas, you need your Judas. No, you don't. Go ahead and get rid of this one. Let me tell you why. Because you got 3 to 4 more up here together because they've been working as a team. Okay? Once you get rid of this Judas, the rest of them going to show their head. I dare you know who we are. Now they're going to show their heads, okay? Now you got to be strategic with the rest. But this one is the one you put up first. So you say, stay over here, Mr. Wilson. And then you go to yourself, you say, I release all of this. I release all of this. You know why? I ain't know no better. I was following everybody, God. I was watching what everybody else was doing. I was doing what I was told. I am done with that life. I am going to live on my own terms. I'm going to use my own mind. I'm going to use my own critical thinking. I don't care what they think. They can suck 15 dirty, crusted toes. I don't care. They can be 200 million dusty big crack toes. I don't care. I am not going this route anymore. I'm going my own route, and I forgive me. I forgive them. I don't forgive them for them. I forgive them for me. Because if I don't forgive them, I am stuck. I'm not moving. I'm stuck in quicksand where I'm constantly being pulled down or in cement. And if I'm stuck, that means whatever's running behind me or the system has me in a chokehold. That means I'm in darkness where I'm in utter darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what Jesus said, okay? I'm not finna be there. I'm finna release them so I can keep going. But they're gonna also be on the outskirts of the town. Like the people that had leprosy. You ain't gonna be around me no more. You don't, once you showed me who you are, I believe you the first time. You ain't gotta play around with me. Honey, and it is grace. God's willingness to get involved with human affairs. God will reach down and pull you out. If you're anything like me, I say, God, if I get down here, I'm in a deep secret mission like Mom Deep. I'm gonna need you to come down here. I'm gonna need you to send somebody to come and get me. God said, say less because I don't put too much in you. Okay. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy update and the upcoming events. Oh, you gonna wanna know. Oh, you gonna wanna know. You know. But I don't. Thank you, Stevie Wonder. And don't forget about your Adjective PDF, along with your 400-page PDF. You put them suckers together and you change your whole Sims character. This game, it ain't nothing but a Sims game. You get to live how you want to live. Look at the new app for the school app. Come and hang out with me. I just started, so many things are put together. Come and hang out with me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025, Influential Women of 2025, and Women's Worldwide. Honey, it's been a whole new experience. It's been a whole new experience. Why? Because God has been showing out. God said, let me show you what I'm going to do. And I said, say what? God been showing out. God's been showing out in my favor. And I said yes to everything. You know why I said yes to everything? Because I'm worthy, because I done fought a good battle. Hush your fuzz. Ain't that what Paul said? He said, I done fought a good battle. Look, this is what I received in 2027. 2027. What is going on? I've been saying 2027 all day today. Something going on in 2027. Get ready. All right. In 2017, when I was doing the work with my nonprofit, Refuge Women's Transition Center, I was bringing teenage girls and women out of sex trafficking, and I had a lot of help, but then all of a sudden my people left, and they went to help. Well, they weren't my people, they was God's people. They left me and went to help somebody else that had a bigger name doing the same thing I was doing. God said, let it go, and I said, say less. And then I was helping out teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI. And the ones that came out and said they were pregnant and their families kicked them out. I said, no, we're in the wrong time. We're in the wrong time for that. We're in the wrong city. This city got too many interstates. And they were talking, what? At the time, too many people didn't know what was going on. And I said, give them to me. I got some place to take them. And I said, do you want to stay in that building I'm in, or do you want to go to the team building? They wanted to go to the team building. Only 2 stayed where I was at, okay? Because I had a teenager, okay? And I was also helping women that came out of domestic violence. We lost 2 women because they went back more than once. And I told them, I said, look, you went back. Now, if you go back again, I can't take you back in. I can't take you back in because now our lives are in danger because you know what you're dealing with. You got someone that's busting up your face, breaking bones, hurting you and your children. If they do that to you and they love you, what they do to me? Okay, so then they say they love you. We can't have you back in here. When I found out that she was gone, it really tore me up. But I had to take a stance. Because we couldn't do that. And everybody's addicted to something. We got people that's addicted to cigarettes and they coughing and up in the lung and they got the oxygen in their mouth and they still smoking it. Okay. We got people that's going to the emergency room because they just smoke so much weed that they throwing up and they can't keep nothing down. And the doctor said, okay, for 3 days you got to come off this weed. They said, okay, doc, leave the doc office, go eat something, take the medicine, and continue to smoke because they're addicted. And then you have people that's working out 5 times a day, not a week, a day. All right. And then you have people that's working out 2 to 5 times a day at the house. Everybody's addicted. The endorphins is keeping them going. I don't judge nobody. Read Matthew 7:1-5. I don't judge nobody because the minute I judge people, God said, you want something? No, I don't want none of that. Okay, I've learned my share. I don't judge nobody. What you do is what you do. That's your life. Child, I was helping people that lost everything in house fires and floods. Because people knew I had a nonprofit, they was giving me everything all the time. So I put that stuff in the storage unit and I cleaned it up. So So when people came, they would be ready. So they would come and I said, how many rooms do you need? They would tell me, I said, I'm going to take what you need. Because somebody else is coming. I would give them toiletries, give them women toiletries, and I would give them fingernail polish and fingernail polish remover. You know why? Because I was trained in public health and mental health. So to get the women to calm down and come out and get that cortisol to slow down and then come into their parasympathetic system, you give them something to be pretty. So they want to be pretty, so that means they got to come out of the shock mode to come down and paint their nails. Mm-hmm. And so now they can think, and once they can think, they can survive. Not only survive, but now they can thrive. Okay? That's how it works. I was helping out families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I put it on social media. I'm looking for 2 families to help for Thanksgiving and Christmas. A young lady reached out. I was so excited. Why? Because God had said do something. So I was so excited, not because she needed help, but because I wanted to do something. And so she told me what she needed. My go-to was honey baked ham. That's my go-to. All right. So I went to honey baked ham because that was my budget. And then I gave $150 worth of groceries. Then I found out about more families that needed help for Christmas. And I said, say less. I found out what they needed. Boom. Gave them honey baked ham, $150 worth of groceries. So while they are looking for a job, that's one thing they ain't got to think about. And then on top of that, I made sure that their children received 2 gifts for Christmas because I didn't want them to be worried about it, but I gave it to them so they could wrap it up and everything. Okay. And the last thing I did was taking 2 women to therapy. 3 months later, I took 2 women to therapy for 3 to 6 months. And then on top of that, I made sure they received $250 or $150 worth of groceries. So while they was in therapy, they had to worry about the groceries. That was one less thing they had to worry about. Okay, because my thing was I wanted everybody to be focused on what they had to do instead of what they didn't have. I wish that somebody would have done that for me, so that's what I was doing. Okay. Woo, God is good. God said whatever I did in private, He reward me in public. I didn't do no fanfare. I just put it on my website. When people saw it, they know what I did. You want to see it? Look on my website. It is www.rwt as in Tom, C as in Charlie.org. Okay? God is faithful, and I'm thankful for everything I am because God is good. God is good in His mercy. Do you hear me? God said, you don't need to do what everybody else do, what I told you to do. You don't need all that fanfare. You don't need to be seen by everybody. That's me and you working together. Look at the link to receive 25% off the first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies for the assistance. During the diagnosis I received in 2017 of breast cancer, they told me I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil is a lie. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't taking no cancer treatments. I ain't taking no ports. I ain't do none of that. I take that stuff that was in the backyard, 100% silver shell. I had a naturopathic doctor, and everything the doctor said me ever said about being alkaline. Sure did. Say I didn't, but I did. And the doctor said, don't you see it? I said, I see it, but if I agree with that, I am gone. Because my cells will say, oh, she said it, we out. The universe will say, oh, she said it, we out. I said, the devil is a lie. I bind it all up. I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the blood of God, and I loose the hand of God. I ain't going nowhere. And I said, I take full responsibility. I ate this food. No, I didn't know that they put paint thinner in the cereal. That's why our children got brain cancer and leukemia and lymphoma. How you gonna put this stuff in the food? Then they just released the gates open to go ahead and put some more and put the what you call that? The vaccine in the food. Pray over your food. Father God, I thank you that this food digests properly in my system, and I thank you that everything that was meant to hurt me or harm me, and every disease that was meant to harm me and hurt me, I thank you right now that before it even touched my mouth, all celestial beings will cleanse this food and it will be purified as it goes through my system. I am not afraid of nobody's system. Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, let's go here now. That is part of that is part of Psalms 23 and Psalms 51. Psalms 51 says, cleanse, search my heart, O Lord, and cleanse me with hyssop. Psalms 23 says, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Come here now. Okay. Honey, let me tell you, I left there and I went home. God said, go ahead and get your naturopathic doctor. Got that, pulled down everything the doctor ever said about being alkaline. Pulled it down. Honey, show my naturopathic doctor, because now we're a team. Naturopathic doctor said, we got to take some of this stuff off. I said, well, say less. Because ain't no need to keep it. It's just going to hurt me because of my blood type. I want to live and not die. Child, I went in the backyard. My ancestors said, go out there and get that dandelion. Now, I told y'all about the research. They've been researching close to 10 years. I've been told them this in 2018. Let me tell you. And I got that morning glory. You can smoke that morning glory like weed, just in case they start acting funny with the weed and you can't get none. Okay, just go to your backyard and get that purple flower on the ground. You can smoke the whole flower and eat the whole flower. And on top of that, that poke salad. You know that plant out there in the yard that's long and it's green, it smell like onions, honey? It is scallions. It is a wild scallion. Child, our ancestors grew up on that. You don't think I put it in there? And they centurions. Child, I said, yes, I will live a little more. Let's go. And I put that poke salad. Poke salad looked like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together and serrated around the edges. Child, I did. And I put it on top of that spinach underneath that jasmine rice, and that jasmine rice wilted everything, but it was still fresh. And that chlorophyll for them greens went into my system. Yes, it did. And it started cleaning me from the inside out, and I started speaking the word. I started speaking the word over me. I am the healer, protecting my health from sickness and disease. I will live and not die. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I am blessed. I am what? I'm out of debt. My needs are met. I have plenty more to put in store. The God is on my side, and everything that was meant for bad is made for good. Everything is going to work out just fine. Honey, I started speaking to myself. Say I won't, but I was. Honey, I beat that thing. I put that zucchini and squash and red onions on the top. Those are cancer-fighting agents. Then I found that avocado and wild-caught salmon is vitamin D. Child, I need it for that for my nails, child. Say less. And I've been praying over my food ever since I found out they let the gates open, okay? Read between the lines. Child, let me tell you something. I'm still here because I trust God. God said, but First Chronicles 20:20, believe in the Lord and you will believe in the Lord and believe in the prophets and you will prosper. God called me to be the prophet unto the land, and I believe it and I receive it. All the battles I done had to fight, I believe that thing. This thing don't want me to get up, because if I get up, it's gonna be a problem. I get up, I get on up, gotta get on the scene. Thank you, James Brown. Hush your fuss and get on the list. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm gonna keep going. You know why I'm gonna keep going? Because I love me, and I love me so much. Let me tell you, I thank God for loving me, keeping me, and holding me, and caring for me, and carrying me when I couldn't carry myself. And I even thank God for correction. In Proverbs 3:1, it says, despise not correction, because that means God is not giving me over to Romans 1, a reprobate mind. And let's talk about Romans 1. They keep saying it is talking about homosexuality. No, it's not. It's talking about having sexual relations with children. That's what it's talking about. Look at it again and research those words. It's talking about having sexual relationship with children. That is just asinine and backwards, but they threw homosexuality in there. That's what happens when they don't translate it right, honey. Read it for yourself. Child, know who you are. Child, and on top of that, let's talk about it. They said we were disenfranchised and that we the minority. No, we not. They are. That's why they beefing up their numbers with people they do not like. Can you stay in the neighborhood? Can you bring a business in the neighborhood? But you can bring that business in my neighborhood, but you can't bring it in theirs. So, honey, they said, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And we did. They came over there and took our bootstraps. We like, wait a minute. They didn't give us these bootstraps. We made these bootstraps. So then we was going around with no shoes on to school. They're talking, wait a minute. They going with no shoes on? And no good. And then God said, the next time you get over there to that bamboo, use a bamboo to make you some shoes. And go ahead and take that bear hide and that venison hide and make you some shoes. We said, say less. And shoestring. They saw us again. They said, wait a minute. We took everything from you and you still going. Honey, you took everything, but God is in our ear talking about, we playing Space, Trump, and Uno, and not checkers, but chess, with wisdom that God is telling us. Otherwise, we will be out here like sitting ducks. That's why they tell everybody that come to the U.S., don't talk to the black people, don't talk to the FBAs, because if you ever talk to us, we will show you what resistance looks like. Look at the civil rights era. Look at what we doing now. Resistance is not paying them no attention but they paying attention to us. Can't leave us alone. Leave us alone. Child, I just want to say thank you. For everybody that came to listen to the message, I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. I send your beautiful energy back to you. I thank you for loving on me and allowing your energy to come and spend some time with me. I thank you for that, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to come and spend some time with me. I pray that you hear the voice of God and the voice of a stranger you do not hear. I think that your ears are cleaned out. I think that you pray the prayer of Psalms 51. Lord, cleanse me. Lord, search my heart, oh God, and cleanse me with hyssop. Glory be to God. And I thank you for your love. I thank you for coming, and I thank you for sharing an emoji. I thank you for putting a comment. Say something in the comments. Thank you for it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because it'll really help my channel. And don't forget to tell me why you are grateful. Okay? I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening. Good night.